Today we're diving into H&B's Black Edition. I was looking forward to these because I'm a big fan of Faber-Castell's Black Edition, aka their Super Soft set. This one I've seen very little about, so I was eager to jump into it. So the first thing, I do like this. It's just the jet black box with the sleeve. Something worth noting, just because again I'm always in that mode where I'm thinking if I'm taking the time to design a color pencil case, the effort that I would personally put into it. And I do like this design. It's almost that Phoenix look, but it has the pencil in the center, and I do like the colors it's using, the very stained glass. What I don't like is how it's cut off. It's almost like they designed the image, or they had the image and just grabbed it and didn't even really take the time to put the placement, so it's not just cropped like that. I just think it looks forced. That has nothing to do with the color pencils. I just want to point that out. It's about, pencil appreciation, and this I don't appreciate that. If we look at the box, first thing, when I opened it, in fact, not the first thing, in fact, it took me a while to notice, the inside of the lid, I really dig this. It has like a compressed foam down there that has a spot for your eraser, which is an H&B eraser, as well as a little pencil sharpener. And I just think that's a really nice touch. And they did a really good job of molding this area so it fits perfect when you put that in there. And again, it goes right on top and has that little bit of room. I like that a lot. What I'm not crazy about is the way this is set up. One of the cases out there, the older Artex, has that green box. I love the box, love the design on that box, but what I didn't care about is when you open that one up, the way the pencils are laid in there, there's a foam at the bottom and you individually put the pencils in it. But compared to this, I like that design so much more. And again, I don't care for that design. It's just not practical. But this right here is not practical at all. See this little hole right here? That's where my white color pencil is. It's so much further down there that there's really no way to get it. So once you start sharpening these pencils and they drop below just an accessible line, you're just not going to get them. So the other option, and I think the only option with this pencil, is just to kind of pour it out. And that's how you're going to get a hold of them. But it's that thing where you got to pull each of them out and start looking at them. Or recasing these, putting them in a different case is the obvious way to go with these. But I'm removing that, and I'm just looking at this design as a whole. So the question becomes, do they plan on you buying this box just to recase them? Which is, I guess it's doable. It's a weird thought process, considering that this is a fairly nice box. I do like this box. It's thick, but I don't like this. I don't like how impractical it is to actually grab your colors. If we look at one of the pencils, we have Saxon Blue, you have the number, and then you have their logo. Again, I'm just nitpicking. I like where the number is at the very back, so it's the last thing to go when sharpening them. There's nothing else on this, but it's a nice silver inlay. I do like it is a triangular cut, and the back has been dipped with the same color as the lead, which I want to point out. The one thing it has going for it, because the pencils are kind of laid out like that. When I was looking at my swatch sheet, trying to find the right colors to grab, I got to be honest, I was getting these pretty fast. I would maybe get it 1 out of every 3 pencil I'd pull out. So if I was looking for a certain pink, by the time I would hit the third pink, I would have it. So these back colors are pretty close to their swatches, and that was impressive. I did like that. Let us look at the swatch sheet here. This is the family swatch sheet I laid out. Something I think I just was not expecting, and it might have been from lack of information out there or just lack of my research on these pencils. I didn't realize until I got these the amount of pencils that I was not going to really use. I dare to say almost 50% of these, everything below this line is a metallic or a neon. And I have no love for those pencils when it comes to a set. Normally, I go towards the end of the video to where I will say whether I would or would not recommend a set of pencils. I'm going to throw this in right now that this is not a set of pencils that is for me. And the reason I'm bringing it up now is because I want you to start paying attention to the reasons that I don't like these pencils, because I have a good feeling that there is a selection of you that the reasons I don't like it are going to be the reasons you do like it. Again, I'm here to, for the most part, do some appreciation of different sets of pencils while we're kind of reviewing them. But I just want you to be open that what I don't like about these pencils does not make them bad pencils. It just makes them bad pencils for me. Everything above this line is what I would consider usable colors. Your metallics and your neons. These are just not something I'm going to mix in with my color palette. And at the same time, if I do, for whatever reason, if I want to do a picture in metallics, I'm going to go get a metallic set that offers a large range. Same thing with neons. The colors they offer are not horrible. It goes from your true yellow into your deeper oranges. They kind of skip over that really soft lemon yellow, and it goes into your peaches. There's a few reds that it's giving you, and there's not a great transition from your yellow into your ochre and into your browns. It's like this palette has been limited because it's a black edition set where it goes onto the paper, the darker papers. There's not really any true greens. I mean, I think there's that nice lime green, and then it kind of skips over your true green and starts leaning into your forest green. The transition into your teals are there, where you have your sea green. You have a really nice range of your true blues, where you have your baby blue, your nice soft cloud blue that I love to see in a palette. And then it goes into your really dark blue. It does not have your really dark blue, like your midnight, and that deep, rich Mediterranean blue. And with your purples, it has a decent selection, actually. It has a light purple, a good solid base purple, and then your dark violet. It has a wonderful selection of pinks, and it does give you a nice selection of grays, which I love. But then we go from that right into our metallics. And that's just one of those things that's hard to kind of group into families, because your gold looks like your brown, that looks like your olive green. They kind of just all mix in with that muddy metallic color, which is why I don't care for them all that much. And then same thing with your neons. There's not a big jump from like a neon green to a neon yellow to a neon pink and purple. They're kind of all on top of each other. So it makes that really hard for me to use. But something I do want to point out is I struggled trying to figure out what was going on. I have a blank number here. Now, I got this. I had to go through somebody on Facebook to figure out what is going on, because I had two 119s. You could look here. I actually did this set first before I realized I messed up. I have two 119s, two 108s, and that meant I was missing two colors by these two doubles. There was two colors I did not have. So I have to reach out to somebody else, give them this swatch sheet, and figure out what two colors they would have left over. Come to find out, after several back and forths, it's not that I had two left over. They gave me an extra pencil. So I had an extra 119, and then this 108 ended up being a 106, and I think that's some kind of a blue-green, if I recall. So I got this set up properly, so you will be able to get this, and it'll work way better with your colors than it does on mine. So at least you will have a better swatch sheet laid out than I have. Mine's just a little off. If we talk about the performance of these pencils, the first thing that stood out to me was these colors do have that look where they're not super vibrant on this paper. And I was hoping that when I laid them down on a brown paper or a dark paper, that they would be way more vibrant. And I honestly felt like these would go down like any other pencil on top of that type of paper. Like, I've colored on brown paper numerous times with other pencils, and I felt like these laid down the exact same as a non-black edition type pencil. Like when I'm using Super Soft or Black Edition from Faber-Castell, I could tell that the pencil I was using was designed to go onto a dark paper, because the colors really popped. They really went well together, and they just worked really good on top of that darker paper. This just felt like I was using an Artex or a Prismacolor on top of dark paper. In fact, when using those pencils, you at least have a better range in your 120. I was forced to use my metallics mixed into, and I never do that, but I mix my metallics into my base colors when trying to color this picture. And even then, I think the part that was, for me it was good, but for those who are looking for a good metallic pencil, the metallic didn't really stand out. It just felt like a shinier pencil. And at the very end of this, you'll see where I hold the paper and I'm going to kind of move it so the lighting will hit it. And there's just not a big jump where I use those metallic colors. Within that metallic, there is a glitter and a metallic set of pencils. And it took me a while to figure out what the difference was. And I think one of them just has almost like more little sparkles in it. The glitter is just more sparkly than the metallic is more of a tone. And again, neither of them really impressed me when they went down on paper. I just felt like these colors suffered because they were trying to make a black edition type of pencil. And by doing that, they did limit their color palette. And then they added all these little bonus neons and metallics in there. I struggled with this set. And it was kind of on me because I did get more of a detailed picture that would really push a lot of these colors. And when it's laid down, it does look like the vibrancy comes through. So I'm not stripping it of that. These colors do look really good when they went down. I just think they look just as good as several other sets when they would also go down on this brown paper. The core of these pencils do feel really firm, but I think because there is a softness to them, because they are a black edition pencil, that you lose the point, the tip of these really quick. I found myself sharpening these more than I have a lot of other pencils. And the funny enough is this paper had less tooth than most of the color pencil paper I use, because this was a brown sheet of paper. It didn't have that same effect against the pencil core. And these pencils went down quick. Like, this is one of the shortest white pencils that I have in my sets, and that's after just one picture. It was just, this paper was eating away at the leads. I was just very, very surprised by that. So if I were to use these on a color pencil paper with a decent amount of tooth, I can imagine the amount of sharpening I would have to do. So all in all, those are my gripes with this pencil. There are a lot of good qualities, like the color is there, the vibrancy is there. They weren't miserable to use. I know that's not a really great compliment. It wasn't horrible, they weren't horrible. The price point is not awful. So I would lean towards Faber-Castell's Black Edition before these, or even just an Artex or Arteza type pencil. I just think you're going to get the same vibrancy with a larger selection of colors on darker paper. So hopefully this video has helped some of you out who are really curious about this. Your outcome will be good when using these. You're going to have a really nice picture. You are going to enjoy using them, I believe, for the most part. I'm just going to have to personally give them a pass because there's just too many other pencil options out there I would rather use.
Sugar Solito.